Hello, guys, my Dream It, Achieve It family. Welcome to another fantastic and, of course, inspiring episode of Dream It, Achieve It. Always bring you entrepreneurial story covers exclusively on Eswatini TV. Today, we are in the industrial part of Eswatini, being Matapa, here to meet with the managing director of Bulembu Beverages. As their tagline says, the perfect quench thirst. So today, we'll be learning more about the person behind the business. And of course, she's not just subjected to Bulembu Beverages only. She's doing rather amazing things in the kingdom of Eswatini, and we couldn't miss on this opportunity to find out more about her and how she fell in love with Eswatini. And of course, we just want to show you guys that you can do what you want to do. Start that business with the little that you have. Of course, it doesn't take so much for a person to be here. Of course, it takes a lot of dedication, motivation, which is always what we're advocating for on Dream It, Achieve It, that if you have a dream, you can achieve it. So we're here to meet with the face of Bulembu Beverages. Her name is Miss Paula Marquez. So I'm so excited for you guys to meet her because she's definitely the brand of her business. And it's Bulembu, locally produced in Eswatini, guys, from the beautiful mountains of Eswatini. You would not know Gupilapo, but today we're here to find out more about the business side of things. Hi, Miss Paula, how you doing?
Good, and yourself, Noma?
I'm good, thank you. So, you've done amazing work in Eswatini, and before I even talk about just your business, I just want to find out more as to where you're from, a little bit more about your background, how you fell in love with just coming here to begin with.
Well, my background has been in FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods. I came from Portugal. I'm Portuguese. We came to Africa in 2008 for the construction of World Cup. My husband works in construction. Yes. And then a few years back in 2012-13, he got invited to come to Eswatini to do a couple of projects here, temporarily. And I felt that, my husband was really enjoying staying in Swaziland. He used to visit us in Durban, and I started to visit him here and see, what is good about Swaziland. And when I came here, I just fell in love. I fell in love with the mountains. I fell in love with the people. And I felt so good. I felt like I was at home back again. Living as an expat is not easy. You always move from country to country and following, starting a new job. But yeah, I felt like finally I'm home. Yeah. So I decided to then move to Swaziland with my two children. And I started to work at Swazi Maheu, our beloved Mandla Maheu. Okay. So that was my first job. I knew nothing about Maheu, believe me. And I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the products. So amazed about our product could quench your thirst and kill your anger at the same time. And then the business was sold to Premier Foods. I got promoted within the business, working for Premier. But then I felt there was something in me that, I was getting a little bit tired of corporate, and I wanted to actually, start something on my own. Yeah. So I started my side hustle while I was still working. That's good. And I started a little laundry business, and then also we created with my best friends, we created a brand called Green Mamba, which you see behind you, which is a health food range in Eswatini. And then after that, I said, okay, now I'm now safe enough to actually leave my corporate job and going full on my entrepreneurship. Yeah. And that's when the opportunity of Bulembu came along, myself and my business partner. Bulembu or Bulembu prior was belonging to the church. Because of the changes that were happening at Bulembu, they were selling the business. We bought the business. We actually fell in love with the brand. When we went up to Bulembu, this water is sourced from the highest mountain of Eswatini. Is one of the best mineral waters that you're going to find. So we felt in love with the product. We fell in love with the brand, and we decided to take the brand and take the brand to the next level, and modernize the brand a little bit. We extended the range to the sparkling water. We created our own brand of honey, which is locally sourced as well. So basically was my full background since I arrived into Eswatini. And as I said, it wasn't just the country, it was working with the people, working with Eswatini, for me was the major pleasure is that it's so easy and it's so nice to work with Eswatini. They saw the willingness to work with you, the willingness to learn. And, you know, in the end of the day, every Eswatini's got entrepreneurship inside them.
Yeah, that's
They just don't know it.
Yeah, definitely. That's so, so nice to just get to know you finally as a person. Now, I just want to find out if you've always loved business, if you always knew that you were going to be a person that ventures into business. Did you study something at school for it, or it was initially a side hustle, which is completely different from what you studied at school?
So basically, it was an accident. I finished grade 12 matric,
Yes.
and I started a job in a supermarket as a cashier. So basically, I started as a cashier, and I'm always in a belief that you need to be the best on what you do. So I was the best cashier. And from being the best cashier, you know, the bosses saw it and they promote me as a supervisor, from supervisor to manager. And then, you know, before I moved to Africa, South Africa first, and then Eswatini, I was the regional manager for a big supermarket group in Europe. So I worked my way through by trying to be the best, you know. So the passion for me is I love food. So everything that is related to food. So if the orientation in your background of what you study didn't come along nicely, always try to choose something that you enjoy. Because if you can join what you love to do plus, you know, your work, then you've got the two things together. Yeah. So I always try to work around food because I know it's my passion. Yeah. So supermarket, dealing with food, dealing with customers. I love speaking to consumers. I love to be out there and be on trade. So for me, that's my love. Wasn't what I study or what I envisioned when I was young, but I'm surrounded by food, which I love.
So good to know. Now I'm just thinking about the fact that a lot of people in Eswatini know of your product, especially your water. We're always buying your water, and I just want to find out about the early stages of your business when you started. Now it's become a brand that everyone knows about, but can you just tell us more about what it was like when you were starting your business?
Well, it wasn't easy. Obviously, starting any business, the funds are not available. You are new. The banks don't give you funds straight away. So it was a real struggle. One of the fundamentals that we did by picking any brand and any business or anything that you do is just fixing the basics. Yeah. Customer service, availability of stock, and believe in a brand that you do, because that's the first step. And that's what we did. So we had broken machines. We had numerous things that we have to fix. The factory was actually bottling in Bulembu. We had a lot of damages coming down. We made a decision to bottle in Matsapa. We sourcing the water. We bring in the water in bulk from Bulembu down to Matsapa, and we bottle in Matsapa, which gave us a bigger leverage of capacity. And it's not easy, believe me. The road to Bulembu, it's not an easy road. Our driver goes there every single day, and it's not an easy road. Yeah. But the way we started small. It was basically 3 people in this office. Okay. We were doing everything from invoicing to everything possible. Going out on trade, go to the supermarkets and sell, go on foot and visit, spaza shops to restaurants, knocking at every door and try to get your brand out there. Yeah. But also create the marketing around, because you want your product to be associated with what the brand is about. It's water. Yeah. But you want to relate to the consumer, why the consumer is going to drink water. First, we believe in our water. We believe in our brand. It's one of the top quality waters. Yeah. We are a spring water. So it's not a process of reverse osmosis where, you kill all the minerals and kill also all the bacteria. Our water is so pure that only needs filtration. Yes. And it's pure. You've got all the minerals from the earth.
And you're just telling us about the challenges, of being a business person, starting small, fixing a lot of things. Now, currently, the world is facing a lot of climate change, right? And I just want to focus more on your water. What would you say is important for a business person to be able to be a critical thinker? Because oftentimes young Emaswatis think that, okay, I want to start a business, I want to have money, but we're dealing with climate change, we're dealing with plastic pollution, and Mlembe has been able to come up with creative and innovative ways of just, reducing plastic pollution, to now you're coming up with innovative ways of bottled glass water. So what would you say as a business person, and given your experience, is the importance of being a critical thinker and rising above any other situation when it comes to a business, no matter what sector it's in?
So the most important is that we must not try to follow others. And you need to be creative, as you said. We must not try to follow a brand that started something we're going to copy because we see it's working. It's not easy when you're talking about climate change and pollution. We're very happy to say that 55% of our business is now environmental friendly and recyclable. Unfortunately, we can't get away from the plastic bottles, but we are educating the consumer, restaurants to take the glass bottles, which we recycle them. But also we've got the other side of the business where we've got the water offering for offices and homes. By that, reduces the consumer to buy bottled water and have water on tap in a fridge, nice and cold when you need it. And that was our way of contributing towards the reduction of plastic. Unfortunately, consumer is not ready yet to fully go on into paper or to fully go on into other solutions, and go in a solution that is biodegradable is very expensive, will make it impossible for the consumer to buy water. But my advice is think different, number one. It's not easy to start a business. If you are a young entrepreneur and you want to start a business and you've got the thirst to do that, the most important is, in my view, was have a stable job, even if it's not a job that you want. Start with a job that is give you stability, is going to be able to pay your bills. From there, you're stable, and now you can start to think, okay, I'm going to create my side hustle. And my side hustle can be, you can make jewelry, you can sell Tupperware, you can do Avon, you can, and I'm giving brands away, but you can do anything. You can do scones. If you are a tea lady, or if you are a clerk in an office and your salary is not enough for you, just think of ways. How many people works in your office? There's certain companies that got 100 people, 50 people. You can sell a little packet of chips. You can make a little bit extra. Keep that money and don't use it. Use that money for the purpose that you want. So if you want to start a business, open a hairdresser, open your own shop, create your own brand. Keep the money aside. Make it like it's not yours. And then with that, you start small. Don't be afraid. Take advice from people that is already in a business. Go to entrepreneurs that started their own business, that got a similar line, and ask for advice how they started. Don't be afraid of asking. Usually, human beings scared to ask questions or sharing information because they think they're going to steal my idea. It's not often the same. Don't be afraid because, again, as I said earlier, you need to be the best version of yourself. So if we have a water, I'm not worried that I'm going to have another water competitor. I'm worried about being the best water. And that, for me, is the most important.
Very, very well spoken. Now, we know that it's not just water that you do. You also do honey, and you also represent a lot of brands, which is like probably like your retail. There's so many people that, utilize and use your services. Can you just tell us more as to what it's like being invested in all these different things and making sure that, you are on top of your business?
Well, you need to multitask, and you work more than 18 hours a day. But when you work for your own business, you work with pleasure. With our honey, we started actually as, a demand in the market. A lot of people don't know, but we actually import more honey than we can produce in Eswatini, which is sad. There is a business opportunity out there for entrepreneurs. I'm giving it away. There is a big demand on honey, and there is not enough beehives and honey producers in Eswatini. Mlembe and World Vision and Luju Festival, we partnered last year. And we're creating a program in Lobama Lomzala where we actually kitting farmers with beehives to create the honey production in Lobama Lomzala area, and from there extending to other areas as well. But there is a lot of opportunities. It's just about thinking outside the box a little bit and see where the opportunities are. Going back to your question, you need to multitask. You need to have a strong team around you. Yeah. Like I said in the beginning, you are everything. You are a cleaner, you are a coffee taker, you are a salesperson, you are a driver, you are everything. Yeah. You need to work hard until you're going to be able. Don't think that because you are an entrepreneur, you're already thinking on the Mercedes that you're going to buy. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. I started with a grey import, and I was very proud with my grey import until I was able to actually afford to have a car that I bought out of a dealer. Well, not. Actually, I bought it in second hand. I never bought a car out of a dealer, to be honest with you, because I can't afford yet. Yeah. But so on the honey side, like I said, we've got a social project. We're very happy to support local farmers. On the other brands, yes, we have a company, a sister company that we represent brands. So we do sales, merchandising, and distribution. So basically we represent brands like Black Mamba, Babalas, Nova Chocolates, and many other brands that we store it, distribute, and we have merchandisers on trades that replenish the product on shelves. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of the work background that people don't see. Yes. One of the brands that you do, our beloved SUV and Mr. Bread and Louisa Maize Meal. Yes. So it's one of the products that we merchandise on trade. Yes. But again, like I said, is hustle, work hard. Even if you are now your own boss, you have to work hard to make it work, because when you work for someone, your salary is guaranteed. You know, on the 25th or on the 30th of the month, you're going to have your salary. Yeah. When you are an entrepreneur, that story is completely different. You don't know if you're going to be able to take a salary in a month end. Yeah. So you need to work triple harder to be able to make sure that you're going to be able to provide for your family.
And on a lighter note, finally, before I let you go, I just want to find out, what is your dream for your business? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? We know that you've been doing amazing work, but of course, I wouldn't like to think that you are where you want to be in life when it comes to business and also as a person. So what is your dream for your business, probably in the next 5 years?
Well, the dream is to expand Mlembe to other products. Since the source of water is so good, there's so many things that we can do. In the first years, we're concentrated to do the business good and do it well. Yeah. Once that was established, is now extending the lines into other products that we can make on a beverage. Yeah. And I don't disclose.
Okay, so
but for myself, you know, I want in 5 years, I'm going to be able to say that I want finally to travel and go out with my family and take a proper holiday or vacation and be able to not worry about the business. But for the next 5 years, it's going to be hustling, making the business grow and create leaders. Because for us, you know, it's very important that you're able to create leaders within the business, people that is going to be able to take over from you. Mm-hmm. And we want the youth to have that hunger to say, I want to be a leader, I want to become a manager, I want to become a GM. Mm-hmm. And for that, you need to be the best version of yourself. Yeah. Be the best version of yourself, always.
And also what I liked about, you know, just venturing to different businesses, be it retail, honey, or just the water, is the fact that it has created a lot of job opportunities for Eswatini. How does that make you feel, just working, you know, with different young people that are very, very probably creative, and they just have the zeal and the motivation to keep working? What's it like for you as a boss to just be working with these people on a daily basis?
It's good. You know, we've got amongst the two companies, we've got over 170 people that is working with us. We work with a lot of youngsters. We often got some gatherings for team building or even in our Christmas parties. And it's so interesting to see their talent out of their work talent. On a day-to-day, you see the youngsters, they're thirsty to, you know, to perform and they're proud of their brands. Here on a day-to-day basis on office, the same thing. It's nice to work with youth. You actually feel young when you work with youth.
Yeah.
Because they bring that energy and that's what we need. We need the energy. We need the people to bring the energy because, you know, as you're getting old, your energy levels will start to... You need someone that makes you smile and that's got that va-va-voom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it's great work with the youth. I work very well with more mature people as well, but the youth brings a different vibe.
It's been such a pleasure getting to know you and just getting to know about all the different works that you've been doing in Eswatini. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I had a great time talking to you.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll finally put the face behind the different brands that you know in Eswatini. And one thing that I took from the conversation is that you need to do what you need to do in order to start your businesses. If you have to be a cleaner, do that. If you have to, you know, sell scones or whatever the case may be in order to make sure that you acquire a lot of money to have your side hustle kick-started, save that money that you can in order to start your businesses. She's definitely done phenomenal work. And because she's done phenomenal work, it doesn't mean that it has always been like this. She had to start from humble beginnings as well, fixing her business, buying a lot of machinery. And with that being said, you also can be Miss Paula Marquez, which is inspiring you guys to say, if she can't do it, you also can do it. Doesn't matter the race that you are, but we just love the phenomenal work that she's been doing in Eswatini. We hope with that you're motivated, you're inspired to start with the little that you have. From me and my Dream It TV team, we'll see you next time. Also bring you inspiring and entrepreneurial story covers exclusively in Eswatini.